Hi, I'm Jim, and welcome to this edition of History in Your Own Backyard. Today we're in Cincinnati at the Transept, and I'm speaking with
Josh
User and Michael Forgas. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
The Transept, I understand this used to be a church, the St. John German Protestant Church.
Reformed
Protestant Church. Right. Can you tell me about this church and you're transforming it to the Transept?
Well, the Reformed part, actually, I'm a born-again Christian myself, so God must have known I was coming, because being a Reformed church, if you notice all the stained glass, it's colored glass. So it's not like Stations of the Cross or any of those type of things. But it was a church that started in 1867 and developed over the period of time. I think it was, 1939 or 1940, the congregation split. And there's another place where the Taft Ale House is on Ray Street, where it's a similar footprint, but obviously they didn't make the same investment in all the Gothic and the things that are involved in this building.
What happened to that congregation that split?
People are involved.
People are involved, okay. That happens
exactly.
quite frequently. Yes, right. And so it was a church for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah, and now it's not.
Right, and it was a church
until... It was a church up until 1993, and that was the
Apostolic Unitarian Church.
Yeah, you
right.
can say that.
Okay.
Right.
But it was Bishop Ernie Johnson, who was the bishop here. It was an active church up until 1993, right. And it sat vacant until we reopened in really the fall of 2015. So it sat vacant for 22 years.
Josh, when you made this transition, you wanted to keep some of the old in the building?
Yeah, the idea was, how do you renovate a church built in 1867 but bring a modern twist to 2016? And a lot of that was by taking the bones of the building and allowing it to shine, and also developing the property in a way that, as I say, the building was here long before us, and it's going to be here long after us. And all you have to do is be a really good steward of the building, put life into it, put energy into it, and it'll pay itself back to not only us, but owners down the line as well.
Exactly. So you put,
but most importantly, to the community, I think. The reason why, it was Josh's idea from the beginning, because the transept is both an architectural term. It's the support columns and the support beams, but it's also a spiritual term. If you go to any Catholic church where they have the transept and where those two make the sign of the cross, that's where they put the sanctuary. And we want to be the sanctuary. We want to be the gathering place. We want to be the transept of over the Rhine. We want to be a place where people come and they gather for celebrations, for family matters, for wedding matters. We do a ton of stuff with nonprofits. We want the transept to be known in over the Rhine as a place where people come and gather.
So you're both a spiritual and an architectural transept.
We are.
And the design is architectural transept, and the feeling is a spiritual transept.
Exactly.
Well said. This better than we've said it.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like an interesting place. So you've changed it. It was a church, and now it's a meeting place.
Correct. We have a small little bar space that's open 6 days a week. That's called the Vestry. We call it the Vestry as there's a lot of there's a theater opening next to us, the Shakespeare Theater. We have Memorial Hall and Music Hall next to us. And the Vestry is a place in the church where people get ready. The congregation gets dressed. So we believe this is a spot where you stop in and get ready for your night out at the Vestry. That also leads into the private bar space known as the North Tap Room, followed by the Registrar, which is the room that we're in today. And it allows for cocktail parties that lead into a dining room. And then we have our upstairs space, which is the assembly that holds about 230 seated dinner with a dance floor. And that allows for weddings, wedding receptions, corporate events, galas, concerts and shows. We prepare all of the food on site, and we have our kitchen downstairs along with a private dining room connected to the kitchen as well.
Was there
and even here, the registrar there in the ceilings there are drop-down projectors and screens. So we have a lot of businesses that come, have meetings during the day. They go out to the North Tap Room, have lunch, then they come back in, finish their meetings, go out to the North Tap Room, have cocktails, and some of them then come back and stay and have dinner. So it's a place where we just service and service and service.
And how much of that church was left here when you moved in?
Remnants.
Remnants.
We were the next occupant after the church.
So was there an altar there?
The altar was gone, but the pews were all in place. You could see where the pipe organ was. You can see where the pipe organ was. It was obviously taken out. But
There was a drop ceiling in the space, so we couldn't see the beautiful wood beams that
see up there now.
you'll see upstairs. There was water running in through the corner of the building, huge roofing issues.
no, the water was running through everywhere in the building. There was water. I mean, it was just water.
And we actually personally redid the roof of the building prior to the construction of the property, just to save it from that last
stop
winter.
We
the
knew we had to
water.
go through another winter. I'm not sure it would have survived another winter. If it was
Wow.
like the cold winter that we had the year before, if we had that winter, I'm not sure it would have made it.
So is there anything else you can tell me about this building, how it was, how you've converted it, and what you expect?
Now,
Yeah, all the stained glass was personally removed, redone by hand,
Local
both
company.
sanded, painted, repaired of all the broken glassware or glass, and then reinstalled into the property. That was a 5 to 6 month process alone, just on the windows. We tried to save as many pieces and elements of the church that were left behind.
like all the tables in the north tap room and in the vestry, when we put the elevator in, the floors, I mean, there was like this way, I mean, there was like 4 levels. I mean, they understood. I mean, the Germans built the church, right? I mean, the Germans know how to build.
Yes.
And so it was sturdy. I mean, it was sturdy. But when we took those out, Josh had a great idea. Why don't we repurpose that wood and make it, when you look at I mean, you see everything out there, we repurposed all that wood. In fact, when you see the stanchions underneath the drink
Yes.
rail ahead, those were support columns actually that came out of this space.
Tried to keep everything
Right.
intact that we could, but also knowing the function of the space, designing it in a way that allowed the old remnants to shine through. I mean, all of our walls, we brushed them off, cleaned them off, and painted them where it was necessary. If there was drywall, we of course repaired that and painted that clean. So you see a lot of elements of old plaster around new drywall, and that was really just to give it the feel of what's been here for so long mixed with the new.
This is really an amazing looking place. As I walk in here, I can see the old, and I can appreciate the new. I can appreciate the comfort you've brought in here, and part of that's the old that you kept, just to make it nice. Is there anything else you can tell me about the old or the new?
No, I think, we've tried to honor the 200-year history, but making it contemporary and making it urban, because it was an urban church. It was an urban church, and we wanted to, respect that, magnify it, as Josh said, and honor it, and that was our goal.
Well, and we really wish you great success.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching today's edition of History in Your Own Backyard. Today we've been in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Transept and Event Center. And remember, travel slowly and stop often.